Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be another classic movie review for you guys. This time, the classic movie reviewing to you is actually the first classic movie reviewing to you that I did not watch on Netflix. I actually watched this on HBO Go, which is something that I highly recommend all you guys get. If you guys like HBO, definitely get HBO Go. And it had this movie, which is a movie I've wanted to see for a very long time. I've been looking for it everywhere, and I finally found it, and that movie is is the 1998 drama classic American History X. Now, I was really looking forward to this movie. I heard it was an amazing movie, and what I think of American History X, this is by far my favorite of the classic movies I've watched so far, believe it or not. This movie was amazing. It has such a great message in the movie. It has amazing acting, amazing story, and I love the movie overall. Let's just get to what it's about. Basically, the plot of American History X is simple. Basically, it follows two brothers from Venice, Los Angeles, and basically... Oh god, sorry guys, the flash flood warning went on. Basically, they are two brothers living in Los Angeles, Venice, and basically what ends up happening is their father is shot by a black person, and when this ends up happening, they start, Edward Norton's character, Derek, starts to be part of the neo-Nazi movement. Now, if you guys don't know what the neo-Nazi movement is, it's when people after the Holocaust still think it should go on. However, it's not Jews it's not Jewish people he's targeting black people. And he's extremely against them and wants to be, against them at all costs. He doesn't want anything to do with them, and he becomes very, very violent in his past and everything. And then we flash back to the present where, it gets so bad for him, he ends up serving 3 years in prison, for voluntary manslaughter. And basically, this actually makes him change his beliefs, and basically we flash back we go to the present, where his brother is trying to write an essay, and he wants to write an essay actually about Adolf Hitler and things like that, because he's following his brother's footsteps. However, he does not want his brother, Danny, to go on the same path, to be on the same path as he was, to go down the same path as he was, so he tries to show him that, it's not right for them to do this, and that's basically what the movie is. The movie's much more than that, which I will get to, but that's basically the basic plot of American History X. Let's get to the acting in this movie. The acting is incredible in this movie. Oh my god, the acting is amazing. I could not get over how good the acting was. By the way, this movie, 1998, that was actually the year I was born, so... And this movie also came out the same year as Life is Beautiful, which is kind of unfortunate because Edward Norton, wow. I've seen Edward Norton in Fight Club. He was amazing in that movie. I thought he was great in Fight Club. I really liked him in that movie. This is by far my favorite performance from him. I mean, wow, his transformation in this movie, the way he is in this movie, there's this one scene, the way they do it, in the past we get to see him as, like the criminal and this very violent guy, and then in the present he's so different, and he did a great job of portraying both sides very, very well, and he just was really, really awesome in the past and in the present. It wasn't like, oh, he was good, really good in the past, but he wasn't as good in the present. No, he was just as good in both time periods. I thought he was absolutely amazing. And just, wow, he definitely should have gotten the Best Actor award. I mean, Roberto Benigni was great in Life is Beautiful. I'm not saying he wasn't. That's probably my favorite foreign movie of all time. You guys know I love that movie, and I thought it was amazing. However, Edward Norton definitely should have gotten it because of what he has to do in this movie. It's not easy what he has to do, and he did a very good job. Edward Furlong, as Danny, his brother, was also very good. He actually narrates some of the movie because we're hearing his paper, and he did a very good job too. You could definitely see that he wanted to go down the same path as his brother, but at the same time, he did not want him to go down that path at all. He did whatever he could to stop him from doing what he was doing, and he did a very good job as well. Then you have their mother, Doris, played by Beverly D'Angelo, and she did a really great job as well. I thought she was definitely very, very good. I liked her acting in the movie. I liked that she kind of was, sick in the movie, and, I just thought she did a very good job in the movie, and she was really good as well. Jennifer Leanne, plays their sister Davina. She was great. I thought she was very, very good in the movie, and what I really liked about her, her character was that we got to see, that she really did love for her brothers, but at the same time she was completely against what they were doing. She was against what Derek was doing, and, no one in his family really supported him at that point, so it was really sad as well. You have a couple other people I'll mention. I don't know who his cellmate was, but that one guy that was black that talked to him in the prison, in the prison when he was always talking to him, he was very good as well. I don't know who he was, but he was very good, and I really enjoyed his acting as well. Now let's get to the directing. The director to this movie is Tony Kaye. He did a very good job of portraying this movie. He didn't do anything else besides this, really. He did a couple other movies, but he did an amazing job with this movie. Just, wow. His, his portrayal of this movie was very, very good. At first, you're like, oh, this movie's gonna be, like, all about that, but then the movie turned into something completely different, which I really love about the movie, and, that was one of the best things ever. Also, this is one of the most, not one of the best things ever, that was one of the best things about this movie, Also, this movie is extremely graphic. I'm going to say that right now. This is one of the most graphic, violent movies you could ever watch. But the thing is, it's very realistically portrayed that way. And what I really like about this movie as well are all the really violent scenes, except like near the end. All the really violent scenes are in black and white in the past. And all the scenes from the past are in black and white. And all the scenes from the present are in color. Now, I've kind of heard what this is about. And basically what it's about is that when we think of things like, racism and things like that, we think of it as being like black and white, like it's good and it's bad. But that's really not what it's trying to show. It's trying to show it's a very gray subject, it's a very dark subject, and I thought they did a very good job of portraying that in this movie. Like, the way they did that was very well done, and the way they did the black and white and color contrast was definitely really cool as well. I really enjoyed that. That was definitely a very good approach of them doing that. But let's get to the spoilers. If you guys have not seen American History X, lots of spoilers coming your way, and you really don't want to be spoiled because it really spoils the movie. Alright, so as we know, of course, in the end, they realize, what are we doing here? There is no reason for us to, this whole racism is all pointless, and they basically, they removed all those white power posters from their walls. I was like, okay, this movie's starting to look up. And then, when Danny took Derek to school, when Derek took Danny to school, I thought that everything was going to be fine, and then Danny was shot, and I was just like, wow, like, I was not expecting Danny to die in this movie. I was not expecting that. I was expecting both of them to turn their life around and, change themselves, and basically for Danny, though, it was too late, because he started, and it's kind of his brother's fault, Derek's fault, but it's also Danny's fault, because Danny was the one who kind of was rude to that guy, and obviously the guy got the black guy got his revenge by shooting him, and that was just a very big scene to see. And one of the things that I loved about that scene was, that scene where Derek ran and he's crying because he knows it's partially his fault. I think that's part of the reason why he's crying. He wishes he could have stopped it, and it was just really sad to watch. But honestly, I think what the movie's trying to say is that, you can't start, that's kind of what happens, that's kind of what happens to people who start racism, is it does not end well for them, and I liked that the movie was very realistically portrayed that way. That was definitely very, very well done. I was very happy with that. Of course, as we also know, Derek did decide to turn himself around, which was very, very good. The way we saw his story was very well done as well. I liked how it went from present to past. The prison sequence, as we know, was very long, probably the longest sequence in the movie. It's probably the most uncomfortable sequence as well, because, it has, like, raping and things like that. Prison rape. That was very hard to watch, but I did think it was definitely very well executed, and the way they did that was very well done, and I really, as hard as it was to watch, it was still very well executed, because that's what would happen, very well executed. I thought that was definitely very big and very well done. Probably the one of the most surprising scenes is that scene where he's at the dinner table and everything, where Derek's at that dinner table and he's yelling at his family about it, and, he almost, chokes his sister, which was big, and I wasn't expecting that at all, but, that was a very big scene as well, and I thought that scene was really big as well, but, that's pretty much all I have to say. But overall, I really enjoyed American History X. I thought it was an amazing movie. I really recommend you guys check this movie out. It's really an amazing movie. I mean, seriously, guys, it really has a great message about racism and things like that. They have a very good message of that, and it's just it's a movie that everyone really should watch. As violent as this movie is, you guys should still definitely check it out, because it'll change your views on racism. It'll change your views on those sort of things. It's a very good movie. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's, as I said, probably my favorite of the classic movies I've watched so far. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm just really happy I watched it because I absolutely loved it, and I highly recommend you guys check it out. Okay, so that's really it for my review of American History X. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Now, just to tell you guys one thing, yes, my next review will be for Big Brother, yes. However, after that, all the other classic reviews I'm going to be doing for you guys are going to be 4th of July movies. I only did one last year, and that was because I only felt like doing Yankee Doodle Dandy because that was more my forte, musicals. But however, this year, I'm going to watch more war movies for you guys. I'm going to try to review at least 3 tomorrow, maybe 2. If I can't do 3, I'll at least do 2, and I'm going to try to do those. I'm actually going to start the first one after this review is done, but just so you know, the next few classic movie reviews are going to be war movies, and the reason I'm starting one right now is because the first one I'm reviewing to you is extremely long. I'm not telling you guys what it is, but yeah, so just so you know, those are going to be my next movie reviews. They're going to be 4th of July movies, just so you guys know. But that's basically it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next review, which will be for Big Brother 16. So, the first eviction of Big Brother 16, so I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.